What's going on, people? I am Swavor, and this is Opinionated Facts, and we coming to you guys again. We took a break, but we're getting back to it. So today we're going to be talking about a slew of things, and I have the panel with me again, Miss Coco Love
Hey, you guys.
and Miss CC at Journey to be Great.
Hello, people.
So I'm gonna start with myself here today. I know everyone has been feeling it at the pump, man. These gas prices are ridiculous. So I'm just gonna go over a few things. So I got this information from gas prices at AAA.com. And the average price nationally right now for regular gas is about $5. Did y'all know that?
I see it when I go.
So for so for premium, and if you have like one of those, Mercedes Benz or Range Rover, or you live in your life, it's about 550 to 560 per gallon. And if you're driving a diesel vehicle, it's about $5.80. I mean, just killing it out here. And of course, we know we're going into the summer months, so the demand for gas is going to be even higher. So we can expect some of those prices to go up maybe a little bit more as the demand for gas to get around and to travel grows. So what I want to share with you guys today is this an app called Get Upside, and it's designed to help get you cash back at the pump. And it can go all the way up to 25 cents cash back. And the way you get the app is that of course, you download it or whatever. And what you'll need to do is you do what's called a check-in. You'll connect your bank account to it. And then every time you use, I guess you pull up on the app and you find the places where they're actually doing the promotions. I think it's like a couple cents here, a couple cents there, but on the app you can see which gas stations are participating in the Get Upside apps program, and you can get cash back at the pump for that. Now I did read that it's only valid up to the first 50 gallons, I guess, per, like if you go to a gas station and you pump more than 50 gallons at one time, it's only going to be valid for that first 50. Now over the duration of time, you could use it as many times as you want. But if you do more than 50 gallons at one time, it's only going to give you cash back on up to 50 gallons per fill up, or I guess per time you use it. It takes about 4 to 24 hours to get your cash back or be redeemed for the gas that you pump. But hopefully this will help some people out, especially with these gas prices, because man, it's ridiculous. And if you commute, I mean, I'm sure you're feeling it probably a whole lot more. Luckily, I only work in the city, so I don't have that many places to go. But hopefully this will help some people.
Yeah. As someone who commutes, I am already a Get Upside user, and it really does like work. I heard about it on a commercial one day on my commute, and I downloaded it or whatever, but it's really cool. It does work exactly like he just said it does, pretty much. Like, when you pull up to the gas station, if it is a gas station that is partnered with the app, like it'll ask you to check in. Like it'll say it looks like you're here or whatever, and it asks you to check in. And then you just check in, you just pump your gas, like you select the card that you're gonna use, that you've already added to the app or whatever. You pump your gas, and then within a few days you get that cash back, and like you can cash out the cash back that you've gotten or whatever. I think you can cash out. I think you can do it whenever you want, but I usually wait until I build up to like $10 or $20, and then I'll cash out. And then you can get, like, with the cash out, you can get a gift card to pretty much like a lot of different retailers and restaurants. Like, I think even to like gas stations actually. So you could just turn around and use it again when you fill up or whatever the next time. But I've been, coffee, so I've been using mine for Starbucks, but whatever. But it really does come in handy though.
Yeah, I did want to add this too. I believe it is a $1 charge if you do try to get your money, I think, before a certain threshold. So I think it may be, if you haven't, you said it was like $10 to $20.
Yeah, I usually wait till I'm up to 10 or 20. I haven't tried to do it, before then. So I haven't experienced that. So it's probably right.
Okay. So what do you guys have today?
Okay, I came across an interesting Twitter post by Lizzo. But before I get to that, in recent news, Lizzo did receive a lot of backlash about her newly released song called Girls. Fans were outraged because they said the song contained a derogatory slur, so much so that she ended up changing the lyrics within a few days after the release. So the term they were referring to is the term spaz. I'm pretty sure y'all have heard that before. Like, I've heard I guess the phrase "I'm about to spaz out," like I'm about to lose it or I'm about to go off. So apparently in other countries, people say this is an offensive term towards people with disabilities, referring to the disability spastic diplegia, which is a form of cerebral palsy, a condition that causes motor impairments in the arms and legs. So Lizzo basically stated that she didn't want to offend anyone. She has fans all over the world. So she went ahead and quickly changed it. And we live in a cancel culture. So, I guess shout out to her for taking her fans' feelings into consideration. And I guess they're happy now. But the Twitter post that I was referring to, like I said, she's known all over the world. She's a singer, Grammy Award winner. She plays the flute. She twerks while playing the flute. She has
very talented.
Very talented, right? She also has the reality show, Shapewear. So she has quite a few accomplishments. And also Lizzo, the name Lizzo seemed to be now a pronoun or adjective for big women. So she went to Twitter to discuss her feelings about that. And I quote, "Dudes be ugly with no bitches." Talking about, okay, Lizzo, as an insult in girls' comments. What was that?
What?
Hold on, let me start. Okay, I quote, this is from Lizzo on her Twitter account. "Dudes be ugly with no bitches." Talking about, okay, Lizzo, as an insult in girls' comments. "I'm beautiful, rich, and get immaculate D." It's a compliment. If you can't make it past the cheeks, just say that.
I saw that.
Make it past the cheeks. Oh, okay.
So I'm assuming this immaculate D is coming from her now boyfriend. I'm not sure how long they've been together, but they recently went public. His name is Mike Wright. He's 35 years old. He's a musician, designer, and comedian. And so I've seen some of the comments, and people are saying with Lizzo having all this fame and fortune, and Mike Wright, although he has done some things, it's been on a much smaller scale. So they're kind of saying she's paying for this immaculate D. And I guess I have two questions. First being, is it possible that he's just in love with her and he just thinks she has a great personality? Or do you think because she is famous and he wants to be an up-and-coming artist that he's using her for a come-up? The second part, ever since Lizzo been on the scene, there has always been criticism about her weight. Even Lizzo makes reference to her weight. Case in point, her reality show, Big Girls. And she's pretty much been one of the faces of the body positivity movement. So, well, first, let me say this. The guy she's with, he seems to be a fit gentleman. She's also been very vocal about her crush on Chris Evans, which is Captain America, who is also fit. So she seems to have a type. What do you think about people that have a standard for their mate that they don't quite meet themselves? So I guess it's a two-part question. We can first start with the one about her boyfriend. Like, do you think this could be love, or is he just trying to come up?
It's a come up. I'm gonna go ahead and say it, but this.
Oh my gosh.
I ain't gonna lie. I can't. I mean, depending on how big the cheeks are, I can't get. I ain't gonna be able to get past it. So I'm gonna go ahead and say it's a come up. If it was me, it'd be a come up. And no disrespect to Lizzo, but I guess I'm just saying like, nah. If I'm at the gym and I'm pumping it out, you probably should be going to.
Right. It is interesting. I can't say, I don't know. If I'm looking at him and I don't know what the guy looks like, but I think you said he looks kind of fit or whatever. So if I was to just look at them, then yeah, I would say it's for a come up or whatever, unless maybe he's helping her behind the scenes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe maybe he's going to get her into the gym or whatever, because I mean, and honestly, I don't care about like how she looks or whatever or anything like that. I mean, I do get tired of seeing her do every now and then, because like
it shows a lot.
She stays showing it, and I personally, I just, but whatever, that's just me and my opinion or whatever. But I don't really care. Like, it doesn't offend me. It doesn't bother me. If she wants to lose weight, then fine. If not, that's fine too. It doesn't really bother me. So. But I would say, just by looking at, if he's fit, it would seem as though like he wouldn't want to be with anyone that is not fit. But there are people that have types and things. So it's possible that it's like, real love.
Right. Okay, so what do y'all think about the second part about people having standards for their mate that they don't meet themselves?
I'm gonna go ahead and say, nah, man. If I mean, you want what you want. I mean, that's just the bottom line. But just make sure what you want wants you back. And if they're willing to go out there, like I said before, and do what it takes to be desirable for you, then I think it should be reciprocated.
I agree. What do you think, Coco?
I mean, it's kind of the same as the other question in a sense, but just kind of flip. It's interesting to me is again that, she not necessarily that she's interested in that type of person or whatever, because again, you like what you like, but it's just interested that seems to be her type, like you said, and yet you're all about, body positivity and not fat shaming people or whatever. It's interesting, I guess, that she doesn't want to look at least like a little bit closer to that. So I don't know. It's different.
Yeah.
So what you got, Coco? I mean, we already know what's going on with Lizzo. Thank you for that. That was good.
Well, I don't know if you guys heard about it or whatever. I know I was talking to Corey about it, but I heard about this story like earlier this week, and I just thought it was really weird. And so at first, I guess I kind of thought it was one of those like made up stories or whatever, that you see like circling around, but it's actually legit. I found it on several credible sources. So basically what happened was an elephant, this happened in India, and I'm not going to even try to say exactly where because I'm gonna butcher it. But basically, a 68-year-old woman in India, her name was Maya Murmu. She was at a village. I want to say it's a Rapai village, and it's in the Odisha district of India. So that's all. I can't tell you what city that is. Again, I'm going to butcher that. But basically, she was collecting water, and she saw a herd of elephants coming her way. But one of the elephants like started charging toward her, and so she tried to run away. And that elephant caught up to her, and he or she, I'm not sure if it was a female or a male elephant, but the elephant trampled her and it killed her. She was taken to the hospital or whatever, and she died, right? Okay, very sad, very unfortunate and everything, but it gets a little weirder. So, over there in India, their custom as far as, when someone passes is they have the funeral services that same day from their home. So they don't do the whole morgue and things like that. They take you as you are, which I thought was really interesting. So they took her from the hospital that same day and took her home. And they were preparing for the funeral services later in that day. Well, the elephant, I don't know how, but somehow, some way, found her home, and this is legit, found her home and went and basically found her body and like tossed her body in the air. Yes, tossed her body in the air and then trampled her home, like destroyed her home and then two other nearby homes or whatever in the village. This is a article from Fox 26 Houston. It says Murmu's family brought her body home for funeral preparations to take place the same evening. That's when a more unusual event occurred. It says, as the ceremony was taking place, the Times of India reported that a herd of elephants appeared from the forest, sending villagers running. They left Murmu's body behind. One of the elephants then reportedly attacked the woman's corpse by picking up the body and throwing it in the air. And they also have a video of the elephants like trampling the homes as well. And so the family and everything, they kind of like, they were trying to get them to go away, obviously. And the family proceeded on with what they could, with the events of the funeral or whatever. But obviously, everybody's just like, what in the world would make an elephant do this? I mean, and not only did you kill the woman, but then you also came back later and attacked the woman's body. So it's really crazy. So of course this has been circulating on social media, on Twitter and everything. And a lot of people are saying, I don't know if you guys know, but elephants have like a reputation of never forgetting. Like they have a really amazing memory. And so a lot of people were saying that they feel like this woman must have done something. And so it was being speculated that the woman actually assisted poachers like back like years ago or whatever, assisted poachers in kidnapping, I guess, like baby elephants or whatever. And so they think that maybe what happened was she like kind of distracted this particular elephant while this elephant's child or children were taken away. And this elephant didn't forget and came back and got it back in blood, basically. And there's another article that I had found, I believe it was this Newsweek article, and it says that basically elephants are pretty like, calm animals. They don't usually bother anyone pretty much unless there's a reason, unless they're provoked or something like that. It says elephants are generally benign and passive. They don't rush out of nowhere to attack people that pose no threat to their safety or babies or to anything like that. This incident is surprising because it shows no provocation of the elephant. And then it says that the elephant coming back and handling the body during the funeral could be drawn to their extraordinary cognitive abilities. And it says it's just possible that if the elephant was in proximity still at the time of the funeral, and that's not clear, that it will have recognized the remains, and it may have seen or smelled that, and may have associated that woman with some catastrophe to it or its herd. That is quite possible. And apparently that's kind of normal over there, though, as far as like elephants trampling people and things like that. There's another story where an Indian farmer, this was in May, was also trampled to death by a wild elephant. So, but what's going on is over there is the I guess the villages or whatever are taking over. They're kind of taking over the proximity of the forest where the elephants reside. And so the elephants are kind of just wandering onto farmlands and into villages and stuff like that. Like they're kind of losing their territory. But I just thought that was crazy. I'm willing to bet that, that part about her possibly helping the poachers, I'm willing to bet that had to be true, because ain't no way. It's one thing for them to trample her, which is still, weird, because like I said, elephants don't usually bother people like that. And I from my understanding, she didn't take off like to try to run until he started charging at her. So she thought everything was cool. She's getting her water. She sees the elephants. Oh, no big deal. But then this particular elephant, she sees this elephant is charging at her, and then she takes off, and she unfortunately doesn't make it. So, but what do y'all think? Like, because a lot of people were saying that if that is true, that she got what she deserved. What do y'all think?
That's just shocking to hear that. Basically, the elephant had beef with the lady.
Yes.
And wow. I mean, it makes sense, because like you said, elephants seem to be very passive. So to trample the lady, and then like you and your homeboys come back and tear up the village. Yeah, it's like some mob type stuff.
He said it's on site, okay? And he pulled up because it's not funny, but it just is so interesting to me because it said him or the elephant and its herd. So the elephant didn't come alone. So if you can think about it, like it wasn't this one elephant doing all of this damage. I imagine like its folks or whatever was doing some damage too. But I thought that was so crazy. Like came back to the funeral and like tossed the lady's body in the air, bro. Like he had some serious beef.
Right, like they were on some mafia type stuff, like no mercy whatsoever.
And then also I thought, like I said, I thought it was really interesting, and not poking or anything like that at anyone's traditions, but it is interesting to me as well. I'm sure they have some type of way of tidying up the remains, but to bring home remains that have been trampled by an elephant, like I don't know. I thought that was crazy too in itself, but again, that's their customs or whatever, so I'm sure they're used to that. Yeah. But I just imagine that's kind of gruesome looking in itself.
I'm gonna go ahead and say I know that's probably a regular thing over there where they are, but I don't know. Maybe you just get used to it, especially if you grow up around that your whole life. But I'm not sure if I would ever feel that comfortable around an animal that is capable of doing what these animals can do. So again, like I said, she was probably like Corsi said, sitting there doing what she normally does, and just probably never expected this to happen. And that's very sad. It's super, super sad.
So rest in peace to her, because that is an awful way to go, and then for your family to remember you in that way as well.
Well, again, I want to thank you guys so much for listening to us today. We just bring y'all just a few things you may not have known. Again, you can always just tell us what you think down in the comments below if you are listening or watching on YouTube. And thank you so much for your time. I am Swavor. This is The Panel. Until next time, peace.